Hello and welcome to News Room. I'm your host Chris with the CHRILLCAST, and today we got some news. So make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below, and like this video if you like what we do. Alright, so new Halo Infinite Battle Royale details are starting to leak. This has even hit Forbes.com because Battle Royale is news. Okay. Halo Infinite does in fact appear to be getting some form of Battle Royale in the midterm future after all. Yesterday it was Jez Corden speaking about what he's heard from inside sources, namely that the big mode Certain Affinity is working on namely that the big mode that Certain Affinity is working on is a variant of a Battle Royale. Today we're getting a more detailed look at what exactly that may look like. The Infinite Leaks Discord has unearthed a whole bunch of Tatanka game mode settings, the code name for the new mode named after a wrestler who famously won a big battle royale during his WWF career. It's the World Wrestling, I don't remember what the F stands for. Used to be WWF, now WWE, because Worldwide Fishing, I believe, and then you had World Wrestling Entertainment. I might be getting my acronyms mixed up here, but I know that they kind of had lost their ability to use WWF and had switched to WWE because the Worldwide Fishing Organization wanted to keep their trademark logo WWF. Anyway, here are the kinds of things listed in the settings that indicate what kind of mode this is and how it's at least somewhat similar to Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone, which is, for the record, the opposite of what I want to see in Halo. Let's go. There's a respawn and a drop pod, so ODSTs, setting and respawn tokens likely similar to how teams can call players back in Apex Legends, a system Fortnite later stole. There are sudden death settings indicating that at a certain point there are probably no more respawns regardless of your tokens. The shrinking circle mechanic appears to be called containment zones. What, flood? I don't know. I'm wondering if it's a literal circle or more like Battle Royale, the movie, where quadrants get hot and you must move out of them. The word quadrant is indeed seen here. There are quote-unquote bleed out and execution mechanics similar to Apex or Warzone, or most BRs. Finally, there's a whole section that corresponds with a number of callouts that were data mined previously. Different kinds of operations on the map that seem to be Warzone-like contracts to go somewhere and do a thing. There are capture, supply run, destroy, and horde operations, where most of those are probably somewhat self-explanatory and they're likely to reward loot and XP. General consensus seems to be that this is a Halo take on a Battle Royale, although a lot of this does seem quite similar to existing Battle Royales, namely Apex and Warzone. I'm still wondering if we will see AI Covenant enemies on the map for this, but I don't think anything listed here really indicates that will be the case. I'm already wondering how many players Halo Infinite can manage to jam on a map in the first place, given the size limits of the current form of big team battle. Adding 50 to 100 players plus AI may be too much, but I guess we will see. Again, none of this is official yet, and 343 and Certain Affinity are not yet ready to talk about it, but a pretty clear picture is starting to form in any case, and as ever, I remain intrigued with how this is going to take shape. If you guys want to go read this article, go to Forbes, look up Paul Tassie's article, title, name, new Halo Infinite Battle Royale details are starting to leak. I do think that Paul Tassie usually writes pretty good articles, so I highly recommend him if you want to go find decent articles about anything gaming related on Forbes. Okay, well, this comes on the heels of this announcement on March 7th, about a month and a half ago. Halo campaign co-op delayed again. So does 343 even have the right game plan for Halo Infinite? Do they even know what they're doing with this? Like, we're at a point now where multiplayer launched and we have a bunch of issues. The campaign launched and we have a bunch of issues. Namely, I mean, campaign co-op's not there. We don't have any way to play as aliens. There's no way to play as anything other than the Chief. And then multiplayer, like game modes and playlists were broken from the start. You had like weird seasonal things popping in and out. I mean, completely unlike Halo. And the community responded exactly the way I expected. You went from 250,000 players, Halo is back, and now we're at 5,000. In fact, I think the MCC, we're at a point now where the Halo MCC, the Master Chief Collection, has more players consistently on a daily basis than Halo Infinite. And we're worried about a battle royale for Halo. I think this is probably the biggest WTF moment for me as a Halo fan is battle royale in Halo. Like, we don't need, nobody wants that. I mean, people might want that, but Halo fans don't. Very few, if any, real Halo fans want a battle royale mode, especially not at the cost of not seeing more development on Infinite in general. Like, Infinite's core mechanics are good. The gameplay loop is pretty good. Halo Infinite is not a bad game at its core. It's just hindered by the lack of content. And if we had more content with Halo Infinite, I don't believe it would be in the state it's in right now, where we have people questioning whether Infinite is a complete flop at this point. Campaign co-op should have been there at the start. Multiplayer shouldn't have been this weird fabrication of a mix between seasonal playlists and your core gameplay playlists from Halo of old. Like, there should have at the very least been classic playlist mode where you could just pick playlists from previous Halo games. And I think that 250,000 amount of people that were there to begin with, you'd have a lot more people still playing the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I don't get this. I personally could care less about a battle royale mode. I barely played the multiplayer for Halo Infinite, to be honest with you, just because it's not what I wanted, or nor do any of my friends even really play it at this point. I know very few people, other than the Halo content creators that I still associate with, that have touched multiplayer mode in weeks. So, I don't know. This seems like a hit and a miss, swing and a miss with the Battle Royale, but I guess it remains to be seen. If the Battle Royale mode allows you to play as aliens and ODSTs, I mean, maybe it's got a shot just because there's a decent chunk of the fan base that wants that. But I don't know. With the way Halo is right now, Master Chief Collection is looking better and better compared to Halo Infinite, and I was really pulling for Infinite to pull off a major victory for the Halo series, because I don't want to see it fizzle out personally. I'd rather see it flourish in the way that it did back in, Halo 3 days, Halo Reach days, Halo 3 ODST even. And I'm just frustrated. So let me know what you guys think. Battle Royale for Halo, yes or no? Is this something you're interested in, and why? I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.